Well, in some ways it was a surprise, in some ways it shouldn't have been a surprise, because as you know, we were very much involved in Kashmir. And knowing that, when you were involved in Kashmir, it was very likely that the Indians would not rest there, especially when they knew that it would go against them, because the terrain was favorable with us and the uprising was also there. So they thought it was an opportunity to strike at Pakistan, to take revenge on what we were supposedly, from their side, thinking that we were intruding into Kashmir. And then I was posted to 6th Armored Division, which was a reserve division in the Sialkot sector. And it was a very challenging sort of a assignment for me. And those were very difficult times. And I think it was for me and for the country a great experience. And what I feel was that the Pakistan younger officers and the Jawans showed great bravery in spite of heavy odds, because they were not so well prepared for the war as the Indians were. And despite that, although there should have been no reason for surprise, but I think our High Command failed in realizing that the Indians would respond the way that they did. During that period, neither the Indian nor the Pakistani tanks had that much of an armor which would protect them from getting completely burnt. So what I used to feel most, this was a very extraordinary experience in the sense that you enter a disabled tank that has been disabled by the Pakistan Army, an Indian disabled tank, and when you look in, you find that all the entire crew is burnt up, completely black, and frozen inside the tank. The Indians thought that it was not a decisive war, and we thought that we had done well. And then, of course, there were also a lot of problems within Pakistan as well after the 65 war. And so I think that we were in disarray, there is no doubt about it. And the way that we handled the 71 war, in the sense that the way we treated actually the Bengalis, that was essentially the reason why the Indians fully exploited us in East Pakistan. And I hope we have learned some lessons from that, but it seems that sometimes we continue to repeat those same mistakes where they could be applicable in terms of winning over minorities or provinces which have lesser population than Punjab. I think one factor is that the militaries in both the countries are very dominant. And it's the sort of a military-industrial complex which works also, apart from the fact that the policies that India and Pakistan pursue, particularly India pursues in regard to Kashmir, gives an opportunity to Pakistan's military and also to Pakistan's establishment to also respond to that. And this vicious cycle is not being broken. And there is no political leadership as strong either in India or Pakistan to understand that it is not in the interest of either India or Pakistan to continue this brinkmanship and this extreme hostility towards each other. What is needed is to resolve the problems in a political manner and through engagement, because all the problems are of a political nature between India and Pakistan. Well, I think it will take a long time before we'll move towards any peace process, because India is not interested in having peace with Pakistan. It thinks that unless it can hegemonize Pakistan and it can browbeat Pakistan, it is not going to stop. But Pakistan is not going to give in on that. And Pakistan will stand for its integrity and for being treated what it deserves as an independent country. It will not be bullied as they have tried to bully other small powers in South Asia. But in the long term, India cannot escape, and neither can Pakistan, from having good relations with each other and trying to live like neighbours. But for that you need a different type of leadership, a different type of thinking, and a different type of problem solving.